Hi all, in this video let's learn about how to use JavaScript at method and its uses and why can't we access the array with array of -1 at the last element. So let's discuss these things in this video. First thing, let's have this array. So this is an array. So let's discuss about this at method. So why we use this at method? So at method will take an let me write the console first. So now this at method will take an index, so like it will take array dot at. So this at method can be used for the arrays and for the strings. Okay, now array dot at, now it will take an index and it will return back the item which is present at that index. For example, if I give 0, now we can see 1. So here we got 1. So the same I'm copy pasting, and if I give it as 2, I will get 3 here because at the 2 position we have this one. Okay, now the usage of this at is, if I paste it once again, if I give the negative value, so I will get the last number. So we could able to get the elements from the last index as well. So this is the main usage. If you pass a positive index, then you will be getting the elements from here. If you pass the negative index, then you will be getting the numbers from back, from the last of the array. You'll be getting at and -1. So now you'll be getting false. So the same you can do with -3 as well. So now you'll be getting 5 because -1, -2, -3. So that's the reason you got 5 here. So this is the usage. If the positive, it will come from the beginning. If the negative number was provided, it counts from the last element of the array. It will count from the last element of the array and it will return back that particular element. For example, if you provide an item which is not there, then we'll be getting undefined. So now you are asking for the element index which is not available in this array. So the index 7 is not available. So that's the reason you're getting undefined here. So the same thing applies for the strings as well. So we can try it. So I can console it once again. String dot at method. So if I say this is 0, I will get as a t. Okay, the same thing. If you give -1, so you'll be getting g. So the last element. Now it will count from the last element and it will return back the element. So this at method is used to access the elements from the array and the string like this. So now we'll discuss about few points, few important points. Usually what we used to do. So for example, usually if you want to access an element in the last index, so how we are going to do is, so in general, we are going to use like this array of array dot length -1. So this is what usually we do. Now you got false here. The same you got false here. Okay, usually this is what we used to do to get the element at the last element. Okay, this is what we need to do, but as at method you can do like this. Okay, why we are using like this, why used the array length -1? So why can't we use, so the question now is like, why can't you use array of -1? So like this, why you're not able to use this array of -1? So usually how you are going to access the elements of the array? So usually, array of 0. If you say array of 0, what you will get, you can access the element. Yes, you could able to access the 1. Okay, the same thing you could able to do with the at method also. Okay, for this also you got the 1. Okay, now why can't you use in at method, you could able to use -1 and you could able to get the last element, but why can't you use the same thing with the -1? So for example, if I say the same, and if now I'm trying to access the element -1, okay, but -1 is present here, the index. So I'm asking, why can't we access the same at functionality like this? Okay, I will explain why we can't access this. If you say array of -1, you'll get undefined because it will not count from the last element. It is not going to count from the last element as it did with the at method. Okay, the reason behind this is, first thing we need to understand, in JavaScript, arrays are objects. Okay, now let's rewrite what you have. So you have this object, this array, right? Now let's rewrite this in terms of object notation. So let's rewrite this like an object. For example, you have array this. So if you rewrite this like in the object notation, it looks something like this. 0 index is for 1, and for 1 index you will be giving the 2 value, and for the 2 index you'll be giving the true value. So like this it would be ended up. So let me give it 3. And now for the third index, you'll be giving the 4. So like that, so on. Okay. So let me give this in this notation. Okay. For example, assume this is a, we have rewrote the notation of this array as an object. So now you are accessing, so you could able to access the objects of properties of object also like in the same way, right? So for example, if you want to access some property of a 0 array dot 0, you can keep something like that. Along with this, you can also keep something like this also. This is also valid accessing of the element in an object, right? The same thing is assumed here. So if the object, now this is like an object notation. uh, we may consider this as an array notation, but you can access the object notation as well like this. So now if you try to access -1, is there any -1 key available in this object? No. That's the reason you're getting as undefined. -1 is available in this object? No. That's the reason you are getting as undefined. But if there is really -1 key, then that value would be returned back. So that is the reason. For example, in this object, if you may have something called -1 key with some value, okay, then this notation becomes valid in terms of object. Okay, now in terms of object, what you are trying to access a key with the with the key of -1, and you will be getting this value. Fine. So this is a reason. Okay, this this notation is used for the objects as well. So that is the reason this minus is not allowed to access the last elements of the array. That is the reason we have this at method. Okay, you can use this JavaScript at method to access the elements from the end. Okay, hope you understand the video. So we have lot of stuff in the Rethinking UA channel related to the JavaScript, React.js, front-end technology, web essentials, best practices. So please have a look at it. If you like the videos, please subscribe to the channel for more videos. Thank you.